What's going on, everybody? Hope you're all having a fantastic day today. Now, ever since Modern Warfare 2 officially launched, I gotta say, I've been getting absolutely hammered down in the comment section for basically, enjoying the game. I've been saying since day one, even in the beta, that this game feels pretty darn good. It almost feels classic, dare I say. Something like Modern Warfare 2 or Modern Warfare 3 when it comes to movement, when it comes to gunplay, when it comes to the map design, almost, not completely, but almost there. It feels more traditional. Now, obviously, it's not the best Call of Duty of all time, but compared to every Call of Duty game since Call of Duty Ghost, I gotta say, this is probably my favorite out of the bunch, and I'm not including jetpack CODs, I'm just mostly talking about boots on the ground. So maybe I should say, Call of Duty Ghost, and then obviously Black Ops 4, World War II, all of the games, Modern Warfare 2019, all that stuff. I think I enjoy Modern Warfare 2 the most. It's between that and Black Ops 4, but again, they're two completely different development teams. Treyarch makes completely, vastly different games than Infinity Ward. So if we're talking about Infinity Ward developed games, yeah, I gotta say, since Ghost, this is a seriously good Infinity Ward styled game. And like I said, dare I say, the closest thing that we've had to Modern Warfare 2 or Modern Warfare 3 in a very long time. Now, obviously, I knew my opinion was in the minority here. The vast majority of people, at least from what I've seen, aren't really enjoying the overall experience. But now it seems that I'm not really going completely crazy. Other people do agree with me that this game is actually pretty traditional. Yes, of course, there are features there that shouldn't even be there in the first place. But when it comes to the core game itself, like I said, it's not anything that's going to be topping Modern Warfare 2 or Modern Warfare 3, Black Ops 1, Black Ops 2 just yet. With improvements, yeah, it could totally get there. But it's not doing that right now. But compared to all of the stuff we just got, I can't deny it. This game, I think, is extremely solid. And a lot more people are coming out and saying the same exact thing. Now, I'm going to showcase a little clip here from Nadeshot, his opinions on this game, because he has also shared his opinions in the past with titles like Modern Warfare 2019, Black Ops Cold War, Vanguard, with similar opinions like mine, where, the game just, I couldn't play it. I didn't enjoy it. It didn't feel like classic COD. I pushed them to the side. But here we are with Modern Warfare 2. Like I said, from the very first day, I've been enjoying the hell out of this game. And now he's coming out and he's, like I said, sharing the same exact opinions. I want you guys to hear this, soak up all the information. And like I said, we'll talk about it a little further after I showcase this clip.
Dude, there's 28 under barrels.
Yeah,
brother,
it doesn't make any sense. And then I had to use like 2 different AKs just to unlock the AK-74U. Some of the stuff is just too damn confusing. But to me, the thing that pissed me off the most is the first thing I said. If you are hating on this Call of Duty, you never liked fucking Call of Duty in the first place. You're just jamming up the airwaves with your shitty-ass opinion. It's Call of Duty. It's not much different year to year, and maybe that's what you hate about it. But don't come into chats every single year like, I'm not buying this fucking game. Well, we know. We don't want to hear about it. It's Call of Duty. It's not that much different, so shut the fuck up.
And it made $800 million in 3 days, so obviously
it's over $1 billion now.
Didn't do much.
Core gameplay, a lot of fun. I do hate some of the aspects of making the game more entry-level friendly, making the game easier, but I don't know, man. If you look back at even some of the most beloved maps, like Crash had a bunch of areas on the map that were absolutely useless. Like, I got Doc posting that clip. Listen, I don't like the highway map. It's not as bad as people describe, but it's definitely not the best. Yeah. Either way, he's like, who's designing these maps? A lot of old, beloved Call of Duty maps had very pointless parts of the maps. I do think 3-lane is best for competitive, but I don't think that every map needs to come down to a science and be absolutely perfect. I don't know, man. For the first time in my life, I'm like more on Call of Duty side than I ever have been before.
I gotta say, I absolutely agree with pretty much everything Nadeshot says in this short little segment here. Now, I'm still a little 50-50 on how you unlock attachments and guns because I respect the system because it allowed me personally to branch out from my main playstyle. I'm always an AR SMG guy. I would never try out BRs or I would never try out marksman rifles if it wasn't for the attachment and weapon system. So I am thankful for that because it introduced me to more overpowered weapons that are actually extremely fun to run around with. But at the same time, I think about players who, might only like to run up close and personal. They don't like playing long range. They want an MP5, but they have to use a battle rifle in order to get it, Why should you go out of your way to play a completely opposite playstyle just to get an SMG? So, I'm still 50-50 on the system. I'll see how it grows on me, if it grows on me negatively or positively. But right now, I'm looking to the core fundamentals of Modern Warfare 2. Cheese, Bugs, newbie things have been in Call of Duty since the beginning of time. I grew up in the era of Modern Warfare 2, with NoobTube One-Man Army Pro. If you can make it through that time period, you can make it through pretty much anything that we see nowadays. That was horrifying. Black Ops 2 wasn't even free either. You were getting one-tapped by shotguns, and the snipers were insanely overpowered. The cheese was out of this world. You had assault rifles that could one-burst, The game, once again, had overpowered cheese, just like any other Call of Duty game. So when I look at Modern Warfare 2, I look for the core fundamentals. I want to know if this game is going to be fun, if it's going to be replayable, if I can actually sink time into it. Because at the end of the day, Call of Duty is made for, casual gameplay. Can I hop onto this experience and get some matches in? Now, of course, skill-based matchmaking is always going to, pull you back from having that ultimately outstanding experience every single game. But when you do run with friends, when you run with a full party, it feels just as good as it did back in the day, in my personal opinion. You'll get some sweaty games, you'll get some casual games, but at the end of the day, that's what COD is. People pretend like, for some strange reason, back in Modern Warfare 2 and BO2, all you got was casual games. What do you mean? No. All I remember out of Modern Warfare 2 was completely sweating my butt off and search and destroy all day, every day. You know what I'm saying? And that's what was fun about it, You wanted to get into competitive matches. You wanted to get into trash talking. You wanted to have a good time in Call of Duty. There were competitive matches and there were casual matches. If you're pub stomping all the time, you were either using a bot account back in the day or, matchmaking was just really in your favor. But good matchmaking in COD was 50-50. You would sweat, you would play casually. That's just how it is. And when you play with a party in Modern Warfare 2, you get exactly that. Now, sadly, some people do play solo a lot. But if you do want to party, I stream pretty much every single day. You guys can check out my stream over on Twitch. The link to that is down in the description of this video. We actually host open lobbies every single time I'm live. So if you're looking for a party, by all means, you can hop on in. But being in a full party improves the experience drastically, at least matchmaking-wise. And also, Nadeshot mentioned the map designs. This is another thing I've been mentioning for ever now when it comes to the Call of Duty community. Every single time I talk about this on my stream or in a video, I always say the maps that we had back in the day, or shoot, even forget that, even if they were mastered, one of these games from back in the day, the community would not enjoy it like they think they will. I feel like the jetpack phase has really influenced the Call of Duty community and BO4 as well, because BO4 was pretty much the jetpack formula minus the jetpacks. It had the same pacing, it was extremely fast paced, which was great. But again, like I said, COD always had those maps that were just out there, Afghan, Favela, for God's sake. All these maps had insane, crazy spots that you would, Invasion. In the back of Invasion, there is a whole pretty much, castle, little tower, basically, that you can go into that has no purpose to the map whatsoever but besides being a back spawn point. But apparently there were never safe spaces back in the day in Call of Duty. That's all that was in Call of Duty. These maps that Infinity Ward made were always in detail. Over the half of the map of a state was, once again, open space as well. All of these maps back in the day could have been cut in half if we're using modern COD, player terminology nowadays when it comes to map designs. People just, I don't think they remember what we used to play back in the day and how these map designs were actually made. At least Infinity Ward style. Treyarch has always made more traditional styled maps, even though they did branch out and make huge maps. They always stuck to a more traditional 3-lane styled maps, but Infinity Ward never has done that. I don't know where people, once again, are getting this information. Call of Duty 4, Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare 3 were all known for having some of the most out-of-this-world maps, and then Ghost, love or hate it, they tried to take the map design to a whole nother level by adding live events. They were always trying to step up their map design game. That's what Infinity Ward does. Even in Modern Warfare 2, the amount of jump spots and crazy angles you can find on these maps are insane. But you could do that back in the day as well. Modern Warfare 2, the OG Modern Warfare 2, don't you guys remember High Rise? Parkouring onto the rooftop? But oh, no. Nowadays, that would be considered a safe space on these maps. But back in the day, that was cool, right? But, like I said, over half of the community would look at that spot and say, oh my God, people are camping on top of the building. There is a safe space on top of the building. You can't shoot them. They're on an ultimate head glitch. There's no way of getting them off. But back in the day, that was the coolest thing in the world. Again, Favela, rooftop warfare. The amount of camping spots in that map is insane, yet and still people love it and want it remastered right now in Modern Warfare 2. But it's almost twice the size as half of the maps already in this game. People want Afghan back in this game, but it's over twice the size of over half of the maps in this game. People want all these ginormous maps being introduced into this game with all of these safe spaces, and I don't know what to say. I really don't. You can hear that I'm speechless here. You can hear that I'm speechless because I don't know what to say to the situation. I gotta be real. I think this game is actually pretty solid. I understand if you don't enjoy it. Don't get me wrong. You know, everybody has their own opinions. People love and hate things. I just don't understand where the criticism for not liking it is because of these specific things that I'm listing. Yet we can go right back in the day to what those games were, and it's the same exact experience. You know, again, I feel like when we are criticizing this game, we have to keep it to valid criticism. We have to really pin the points that are crucial. Things like red dots on the minimap, things like the overly loud footsteps, things like, you know, the new changed perk system. My goodness, I mean, it's not that amazing. Those are things that we want evolved, but the cheese of the game, the map designs, like I said, I feel like these things are the exact same as they were in the past, if not more improved right now. And that's a plus in my personal opinion. I think what people have to do when it comes to Modern Warfare 2, which I know nobody wants to do, is shut their brain off. You know, and it's hard because when you play COD, you chase that adrenaline rush of popping off. But when you only want to chase that adrenaline rush, when you only want to be the top player in the lobby, when you only want to perform well, trust me, the game is going to kill your mood and you will automatically hate it. It's the main reason why tons of hardcore Call of Duty fans, when they go to a different FPS game, they can, you know, enjoy it. They can casually enjoy it because they're not taking it as serious as COD. I understand where you're coming from. You know, pretty much everybody who's watching this video is a hardcore COD fan. And when you're in that boat, when you're in that, you know, bubble of us, it's hard to want to take this game casually. You know, we like COD. We've been playing since the beginning of time. We know the adrenaline rush we're looking for. You know what I'm saying? We're craving that same thing. We want it. But sometimes you just have to shut your brain off. Treyarch games, you can push it sometimes because their games, like I said, are made more competitively. A player can actually, you know, really outperform tons of other individuals just basically off of gun skill alone. But in Infinity Ward titles, they have always been the noobiest Call of Duty games ever made. And you just have to simply accept that. If you don't, you're going to be fighting against a brick wall. Nothing, you're not going to get anything in return because, like I said, Infinity Ward games have never been like that. These are games that you just have to shut your brain off, kick it back with some friends, and just, you know, like I said, some games maybe you can get some good experiences. Some games you're going to get pummeled. Whatever, man. That's COD. You know, back in the day, same thing. Some games you're going to get some good experiences. Some games you're going to get pummeled. At the end of the day, is the game fun or is it not fun? If it's not fun, then that's your opinion. You don't like it, that's fair enough. But for people who think it's fun for these reasons, I think those opinions should be respected as well because I think they're valid this time around. Infinity Ward has definitely improved this game tremendously from what we've seen from them in the past. And that should definitely be respected in some sort of way, because if not, do you guys really want to revert back to what we had before? Because I don't. You know, I want to see continuous improvements to the Call of Duty franchise. I don't want to see its continuous death. So, yes, I'm going to obviously talk positive about the things that deserve to be talked positive about. And my God, if you're getting tired of 6v6, please just try something else out. Go to DMZ, please. I promise you, go to DMZ. It is tons of fun, especially when you're playing with buddies. Solo, it's going to be rough. But if you have some friends, you want to just hop on, you know, it's late at night, you want to get a little drunk, or maybe, you know, you had a long day at class, you just want to kick back and grind out with the homies, a long day of work, you want to play some dinner, you know, whatever your situation is, kick back with the homies, try out DMZ. Avoid 6v6 if it's too stressful. If the skill-based matchmaking is, you know, tearing you and your buddies apart, get into DMZ and just casually grind it out. Try to explore it, try to understand it, and give it a go. That will give you the casual experience that I think that you are truly craving. But ladies and gentlemen, thanks so much for checking out this video. If you enjoyed it, make sure to leave a like if you want to hate it. Leave a dislike. Also, if you're brand new and enjoy the content, don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification button. Also, want to chat with me, there's two ways to do so. I have a Twitter and Discord, put the link in the description. And also, want to catch me live streams of video games over on Twitch, with that in the description as well. But guys, thanks so much for tuning in. See you on the next one. Peace out.